So hello and welcome. Welcome to Gamedevelopedia. In today's video of this series, we are going to learn about variables and data types. In previous video, we have learned about some basics about void update, void start, void awake, and firing some event or printing something onto the console whenever a specific key is pressed from keyboard, and understood about debug log. And in today's video, we are going to learn about variables and data types. So you haven't watched the first video, make sure to watch it. Now let's start with our this video. And first of all, let me create an empty game object and script. This will be our variable. Let's create a script for our variable. Scripting mono behavior variable example. So let's open the script. Okay. So now we are going to learn about variables. So first of all, let's understand what variable is. A variable is a container which is used to store data, which further we will process or do some operation on those. So for example, like we want to store player health, or we want to store our player's speed, or process something onto our player speed, like we want to increase our player speed or decrease our player speed, we use variables. So in Unity, specifically, we use four main variables or data types: int, float, bool, and string. These are data types which we use in our Unity in order to perform or store some values in it. So int is used to store whole numbers or values like 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. And float is used to store decimal values like 1.2, 2.3, 3.3, and etc. So whenever we want to store a floating number or a decimal value, we use float. And in Boolean, we store true and false. And for string, we use string to store names like hello or Gamedevelopedia and etc. Okay, so these are the data types which are used to store different types of data or value in them. So let's understand how do we create a variable. So first step is variable declaration statement. So variable declaration statement, in this we will declare a variable and give it a name. Like first we need to give a data type. So if we want to store a whole number, like we want to store a player health, so in this case player health will be a whole number like 10 or 20 or 100. This is a whole number. So in order to store whole number, we will use integer data type and provide a name to it like a. Okay. So this statement is called as declaration. And if we want to provide value in it, we can do a is equal to 100. This is called as initialization statement. Initialization means we are initializing a value into a variable which we created or declare. And if we perform both declaration and initialization into 100, so this statement is known as initialization and declaration. Here we have declared a variable and also initialize a value in it. So this statement is known as variable declaration and initialization. So now if I want to store a value like 1.2, so I need to use a float data type. B is equal to 1 point. And after entering the value, we need to make sure that we at the last of the value we use f. This specifies that this value is a floating value. By default, if we wrote any value, numeric value, it is assumed that it is an integer value. So in order to avoid that error, we use f at the last. It indicates that it's a floating value. So now, in order to store name, in order to store name, here we are storing Gamedevelopedia. We need to use string. We need to use string data type. Now, for true and false, we will use bool d is equal to true. So each data type is used to store different types of values. So now, I wrote this inside the void start. Okay, it is fine. We can also write variables in void start, but the difference is this variables now turned as local variables. Like this value variables scope is only throughout this blocks of void start. We can't use these variables outside the void start. So this became local variable. A local variable is a variable which is wrote inside a specific block inside the class block, like in function or in any method like void start. Here we wrote these variables inside the void start. So now we can't use these variables outside this void start. Okay. So if we wrote these variables inside class block, now these are global variables. We can use these variables throughout the class block anywhere. So this is difference between global and local variable. So now in order to access our variables, we can just for now we will use print statement. Later we will learn how to perform operations and all that stuff. But currently we will just print the values which are stored inside our variables. Print a. So print is a function which is used to print something onto the console. It is same as debug log. Now we will get 100 as 100 output as in the console. So let's see. Let's make sure we attach the script. Okay. So let's attach the script to game object and hit play. Now as you can see on console, we got 100 as output. So now let's see.